Did you know that the original Resident Evil was going to get a Game Boy version until Capcom deemed it unwise? You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the txboxhub.com. For the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos and opinions, make sure you visit the txboxhub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello, welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode 157. My name is Gareth Browning, I'll be your host, and on my virtual left is Mr. Paul Renshaw. How you doing, Paul?
Oh, it's me today first, is it? Hello, Gareth. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. And on my virtual right is Mr. Darren Edwards. How you doing, Darren?
Good evening. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. It's good. We've got no one opposite. Just the three of us today for an hour. How do you feel about
Three
that?
Musketeers.
Yeah.
You couldn't sound more excited, Gareth, as you chat.
I've got to talk to these two clowns for an hour.
I know.
Your married couple are in tonight.
How's your week's been? Paul, how's your week been? What have you been doing?
I have been spending my week many meters off the ground. So we've been cabling and putting new access points in the warehouse for our exciting new Wi-Fi project. It's if you're IT, you get excited about stuff like this. But the upshot of it is we had to have a new scissor lift because the one that we had didn't work. So we've got a new, bigger, more exciting one that goes 14 meters into the air. The only slight downside with it is when you are 14 meters in the air, if you so much as breathe, the thing sways like a drunken sailor. It's absolutely terrifying until you get used to it. The slightest movement and the whole thing goes woo, woo, woo. So yeah, that's been my week, alternating between excitement at going up and down and then sheer pant staining terror when I'm at the top and the thing's swaying about. So yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's Paul's in the Rooftops podcast.
In the Rooftops.
That's what you can call it. In the Rooftops
I think
Paul
we
Renshaw.
should.
Yeah.
Did you see the photograph I stuck on Thingamajig?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, but it looks like when you're up there and the lights go off, it looks like that scene from the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's so much stuff in that warehouse, it's unreal.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Darren, what about your week? What have you been doing?
I've not been platforming in real life like Paul has, but I have been working. Better this week because I've actually got people who aren't all off sick or on holiday, so that's an improvement. But I enjoyed the Last of Us finale, which I know you've got on your list as well. I thought.
Well, we'll talk about it now. We won't spoil anything, of course, story-wise.
No, we won't.
No.
We won't. But I think they did a really good job. I think there was a lot of kind of preamble before it was, it's only so long. How are they going to do it? Blah, blah, blah. Kind of people jumping on they're never going to pull it off bandwagon. But I thought it was great. I think the whole series has been strong. There's been some criticism that there haven't been a lot of infected in the series. And I know they've said there's going to be more in the next series. But
it's great that it's great that there isn't. That's what I really like about it. Yeah.
Well, this is what I think. They're telling really deep emotional stories between the characters, and yes, they've deviated in some ways from the game, but they haven't completely trashed the source material. I think they've done a really, really good job, and it's probably the best video game adaptation I can remember watching.
Yeah,
I've loved it.
I'm totally with you. I think as well, what people forget about when the people are going, it's going to rush, they realise in the game, you spend 80% of the game just in shootouts, so so it's not, and climbing up ladders. It's not. You can't keep doing that in a TV program. And when they do use that, it's very effective. So it's like you've got to have the moments, And it's No, I think you're right. I think they did a great job, great performances. Really looking forward to see what they do with it next. And
it was based on a rubbish game.
It's a while off though, the next one. I think it's going to be a year and a half, 2 years. They're saying, well, if it's good as that, then I'll wait happily.
Yeah, exactly. Good. What have I done? It's me this week. Oh well, we got our Xbox Hub team. Some of us.
Oh yeah. Well,
Selected.
some of the Xbox Hub team. Yeah. Let's get this right.
Got some tickets this Sunday to go to Manchester to Old Trafford for Man U, home Man U, by Konami. So thank you very much for that. And we've got to watch Man United versus Southampton, and we got some VIP tickets for the Ambassadors Lounge. So we got a nice meal, and then we watched the game, and then got some talks too by some Manchester United legends. And so I was there, Neil was there, Richard was there, and Finn.
Who were the legends, Gareth?
And Dennis Irwin was
Oh,
one of them. He was very nice. He, a big fan of Richard's. Him and Richard ran a massive chat. It was amazing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was good. Thank you for Konami. I really enjoyed it. But getting home, oh my God.
Oh,
It was good. It was bad.
When you go north of the wall, mate. What
half
happened?
5 I left, and I got back at 12:30.
Oh,
It wasn't pretty.
yeah.
Which way did you go?
Well,
I was going to say, I drove to the Highlands for a wedding last year, and it took me less time than that from Nottingham.
Me, Neil, and everyone, the traffic sober, we went 20 miles from Manchester in probably 3 hours.
Oh my!
Yeah,
no!
Just constant traffic.
I can't believe Konami didn't lay on a helicopter for you VIPs.
Absolutely.
Right? How rude!
I know.
Good. That's our week. Let's talk about.
Can we just say that we're not bitter about not being invited on this jolly?
You hate football, Paul.
In fact, do you know what? I'd put up with it for a VIP experience in Manchester United.
Yeah.
I mean, I left Manchester 32 years ago, and I've not been back since. But I would have made an exception.
Well, when I got to say to you, when I got to Manchester, I went to this place, this industrial estate, and there was these signs, and there was these guys, these two lads smoking fags, and they went to me, "Yeah, park here. It's a £5. Give us £5 in cash. We'll look after your car." And I did do that. But I was, for the moment, the whole thing going, "I've lost this car. It's gone." But I came back. The car was there. Didn't get a ticket. So sorry for misjudging these two lads who were the cigarettes. £5. Yeah. Good. Let's talk about.
Did it have wheels on it as well?
It had wheels on it as well. Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah. Let's talk about games. It's a bit. When we last year we were going, March is going to be really busy for games. It hasn't turned out that way. There's been some movements and things. So it's not a massively busy month, but we have been playing some games. Let's go with Darren first of all. Darren's been playing something a little bit more highlighted.
I finally finished Atomic Heart and got my review out. So if you want to read that, that's up. But I played the Resident Evil 4 Chainsaw demo because that's coming out in a couple of weeks, which I have to admit at first I was a bit nervous, but the more I've seen it, the more I've been looking forward to it. So I downloaded the demo. Didn't come up if you type in Resident Evil 4. You have to type in the word chainsaw for it to appear, which is a bit odd on the Xbox store. But yeah, you get to play probably about half an hour segment, similar to the start of the original. There's a little bit of a recap of what happened in Resident Evil 2 and 3 as well for those unfamiliar with Leon's past in the franchise. And you get to kind of investigate a couple of dodgy looking shacks in this village and then find the village itself and all the familiar sights and sounds from the original. I really, really enjoyed it. I've popped up a bit of an opinion piece as well. It looks brilliant to begin with in the RE engine. It looks really good, and you can see how the environments have evolved from 2005 when the original came out. And also it plays differently. It feels more survival horror because Resident Evil 4 was quite famous for blending the genres, whereas before it was all fixed camera angles. You've got to kill 10 enemies with 3 bullets and all this. Resident Evil 4 felt a bit more action, adventure, horror. This feels like it swung back a bit more to its roots. So ammo felt a bit more scarce. Enemies could take more bullets. It even just felt darker and more claustrophobic than the original. And all the kind of key staples are back, like Baghead's back. He makes an appearance, although I believe he can pop out at different times in the demo. And all the Ganados are back. They're infected with the Plagus, which is the parasite. So I really enjoyed it. I think if they keep what made the original brilliant and don't cut stuff out and expand on it even more, then I'm going to really enjoy going back to it. So I would recommend downloading it. I think it's about 11 gigabytes for half an hour, but it's really good. I enjoyed it.
Do you think they're going to change things up quite a bit? Because it's like I think I read somewhere like in the demo, so I'm not spoiling too much. Like in the original game, you save a dog at the beginning.
Yeah. There's none of that. So in the original, spoiler alert for 18 years ago, but if you there's a dog in a bear trap, and if you save the dog, it comes back and helps you in one of the El Gigante fights, which is the big troll thing, and provides like a distraction and makes the fight easier. So if that's not in it this time,
but the dog's there, but the dog's dead, isn't it?
Yeah, it's and you can press A and have a good look at its innards as well if you wish, which I think is very sad. But yeah, so there are going to be little differences, but all the characters hopefully will still be there, because some of them from the original like are quite camp and a bit ridiculous, like little Salazar, one of the baddies. But then for me, the biggest opportunity is the leader. So the cult's called Los Illuminados that worship this Plagas, essentially, and the head of it's called Sadler, and he's the one who's kidnapped the president's daughter in the original. And I felt like he was underused in the original. I don't have many criticisms, but the final battle's a bit easy, a bit of an anticlimax. So they've got an opportunity to get more out of him. But I just hope they don't cut too much from it. But I've not heard that they will. I've heard the island from the original, there's going to be a lot more to that as well. And with each trailer, they're kind of dropping in monsters from the old ones, like the regenerators and stuff. So it's looking like most of the stuff's going to be there in this remake.
They did such a good job with Resident Evil 2 remake. Not so much as the third one, but it was but it'd be very interesting. Wow, Paul, are you excited about this?
I'm reasonably excited. Yeah, I mean, not to the point where I've downloaded the demo or tried to play it or anything, but I did enjoy playing the game first time around. I think it was on PlayStation 2?
It might be.
Very way back in the mists of time, we're talking.
It was. It released originally for GameCube because they had an exclusivity deal to make some Resident Evils, and then it all kind of crumbled and it got released on every format under the sun.
But I suppose the big question is when they're going to remake Code Veronica.
That's what I've put in my piece. That's what we want next, because that's a cult classic. That's a fan favourite. That one.
It's very good. I did enjoy that one as well. So I mean, 5 and 6, I think they're still far too recent, aren't they? They don't need a remake. So, but yeah, Veronica definitely, and yeah, I'm reasonably excited for Resi 4.
Who's going to review it?
Well, it'll have to be Darren, won't it? Since he's the world's biggest fanboy.
There you go.
I'll take that. See if you've got Fatal Frame, Paul.
Yeah.
Well, I've told you before, mate. You've got to keep an eye on that board.
I know. I respect your lightning reflexes.
So I don't mess about, mate.
Good, Paul. What's your first game?
My first game tonight is a bit of a strange one. In fact, I think, judging from what I've played so far, it's going to be a game that you might like, Gareth. It's called Matto Anomalies. And basically, it's a cross between a turn-based RPG and a visual novel. And it sounds dreadful from that description, but it's actually really, really good. You interact with these various different people and they gave you jobs to go and do, and then you trot off and do the job, and there's monsters to fight and there's friends to make and there's people to recruit to your team and stuff, and all in all it's like a mashup that shouldn't work, but it does. It looks great. There's 2 distinct worlds. There's like the real world where you play as a detective, and then there's a sort of imaginary world or a world of demons or something. It's not entirely clear what this other world is, where you play as a kind of samurai fella who takes out the evil. And the 2 of them team up and, mayhem ensues. So, yeah, it's it's very difficult to try and explain.
Mm-hmm.
But keep an eye out for an upcoming review. But I'm enjoying it so far.
I was going to take that one, but you took it quite quickly. So, it was a shame.
Lose, you lose.
Yeah, it is. I looked at it. It is quite hard. It is hard to describe. It's hard to read when you're reading. You can't work out what it is. But yeah, I will look forward to that. My first game is Intruders Hide and Seek, which is a game where you play. You're a little family. Dad's a doctor, and mum's there, and you're a 13-year-old boy, and you've got a sister who's about 8 or something, and she's suffering from asthma or something, kind of some chest disease you're not sure of. And you're at your sort of this house in the middle of the country, I think it's like a holiday retreat, but huge house. And you're there, and then there's intruders. These 3 intruders break in and capture the parents, put them in the basement. And basically, you play as a 13-year-old, and you get your sister into a safe room, and then you are around the house. So it's a bit like a stealth game, like for a little bit like Hello Neighbor or something like that. Is it called Hello Neighbor?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah, it has a little bit of that, but it's more like a tense kind of adventure thing. So it's you're secretly going around the kind of house, and you'll have sort of missions, like it might say, you need to go and find this clue to your dad's laptop, which is a library book. So you have to go from the study all the way over to the library without getting spotted, and then back. Now the script is some of the worst bit of writing I've ever seen, but some of the performances are great. But there's something about this game that I really liked. It's about 4 hours long. There's something about the kind of stealth stuff going around these huge houses is quite enjoyable, and the story, even though the writing can be terrible, is really good. It comes up with a really nice twist and surprise, like 3/4 of the way in. That really you're like, oh right, it's gone here, it's gone to a different place, and it's low budget, but they do a really good job at the stealth. I think it's like a really nice little indie 4 hours. I think it's quite cheap, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's good to play a kind of like one of those different kind of games. I don't think I've played anything like that. I think the only thing I can think of is a Hello Neighbor game, which I didn't really enjoy. But this has got much more of a purpose. You know, you've got to go here, you've got to do that, rather than I don't know what you're doing in Hello Neighbor. It just feels like wandering around. But yeah,
it is a bit like that.
Can I ask a question? Given that I currently share my house with a child of that age, does your character spend all its time sulking and sighing and
no,
saying it's not fair?
No, they're in a lot.
It's not very realistic. Then,
no, they're in a lot of trouble. They go into action mode here. They crawl in events and stuff like that. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. It's not big games this week, apart from Resident 4 demo and Matter Anomalies. But what else have you got, Darren?
Well, that is not about to change. So I'm playing Prison Tycoon Under New Management, which is a sim game where you basically have to run a prison. So it's kind of feels like it's trying to jump on the back of 2 Point Hospital and Campus's success. It feels very similar in the way it's laid out as well. I think it originally was on PC, and the Under New Management bit has chucked in a bit of DLC, like new rooms you can build, new characters, etc., etc. And yeah, it's a bit of a slog, really. So you have to build up your prison, run the prison, and you have to manage resources as well as making sure the prison's financially successful. And then you kind of bring prisoners in like you would patients in 2 Point Hospital. The difference is, though, here is that it's a very, very slow burner. So you have to pay to bring the prisoners in. I have no idea why. And then you can only do 2 a month. But a month starts from morning to night, so it feels like one day, but a month passes, and you can hit the fast forward button like kind of these games, but you can sit there for 5 minutes and just watch things play out. And literally nothing happens. No events, no one complains, no one walks out, there's no fires, there's no rubbish accumulating. It just feels very non-consequential.
Right.
In terms of what you do. You don't get the same sense of panic as in 2 Point Campus or Hospital, where if you're not on it, you've got angry patients, or you've got people dying in the corridors, or the Grim Reaper turns up to take them away. There's no sort of urgency whatsoever. And you can play in 2 modes. You can play in the mode under new management, where you've got to manage the financial security, or you can play in Sandbox, where you have unlimited money. So I think the idea is you can kind of mess around with all the different rooms. And there's a lot, to be fair. There's a lot of different rooms. There's therapy suites, there's cells, there's, leisure suites. There's all sorts you can build, but none of them feel like they have much of an impact, really. And in the Sandbox mode, because you've got unlimited money, it just feels a little bit pointless. So I've got to put some more time into it. I've only put in about 5 or 6 hours, but so far I'm not enjoying it very much, I must say.
Oh God, they're hard though. Some games like that,
and it looks awful.
Right.
Like the title screen loads up, and you're like, "Whoa, okay, this looks like it could be 15 years old." This game,
right?
It's not great.
Okay.
I suppose the question that everybody wants to know is it as good as Ship Graveyard Simulator?
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm not taking the mickey here. I think I enjoyed Ship Graveyard Simulator more than I'm enjoying this at the moment, because it felt like I had some sort of progression and made some sort of progress, whereas this just feels a bit kind of fruitless, no matter what you do.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Good. Paul, what is your last game you want to talk about?
Well, the last thing I'm going to talk about is not actually a game. We're going to go out on a limb here and talk about a little piece of hardware I've been sent for review. It's by a company called Brook Design LLC, and it's called the Wingman Converter. And basically what it is a USB stick that you can plug into the front of your Xbox Series or your Xbox One or even your Xbox 360. And it lets you use any other controller on the Xbox. So if you're some kind of weirdo and you want to use a PS4 controller on your Series X, you can do. It'll take the Switch Pro controller. It'll even take the old Xbox 360 controllers and allow you to use any combination of controller with any combination of Xbox.
They slipped you money here. Sounds like you're doing the advertisement.
No, honestly,
now. It's all good retailers.
Coming soon to Wilco. Honestly, it's. I was a bit skeptical when I tried it. I thought, well, we'll give it a whirl. What's the worst that can happen? And I was really, really surprised at how well it works. I plugged it into the front of my Series X. I got my PS4 controller, plugged it into the other end of the USB stick, and I was playing an Xbox game with a PlayStation controller.
Oh, that's good. No, it is good. That's really good.
Which is really weird because I'm not a massive fan of the PS controllers. But plugging in an Xbox 360 controller and then playing a backwards compatibility game, it was like I was back in 2010. It was brilliant.
No, it's good to me because some people just can't use the PlayStation controllers, and that'd be really good.
I don't like where the sticks are.
Yeah.
But if you do prefer the feel of the PlayStation controller, then you get one of these little devices and you can use it on your Xbox. Brilliant. It's really, really clever. All the buttons are mapped exactly as you'd expect. The only thing I don't like is, with the PS4 controller, you've got that massive button in the middle. That has been mapped to the screenshot button. And every time I try and press like start or whatever, I always manage to hit that great big button. So I've got so many photographs taken now. But whether that's just me being fat fingers or not, I don't know. But I do find it very difficult to hit the start button on that particular controller.
Yeah.
But it's a very clever bit of kit. I'm really impressed.
What's it called again? Sorry, you first, Darren.
Go on, Darren.
You say it works with Xbox 360.
Yep.
So what if you're playing a game with that controller, but a newer game? So the newer controllers have more buttons. Does it map smoothly, or is there issues at times depending on what you use?
I haven't found any issues.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, using the 360, obviously there isn't like a screenshot button on the 360, but the rest of the buttons work exactly as they should. So, but yeah, I was sat here the other night playing Destiny 2 on the Xbox with a PlayStation controller. Very peculiar. If you want to know what it's called, again, let me just put my glasses on so I can read the box. It is called the Wingman Converter from a company called Brook Designs.
Good. Brilliant. There you go.
Excellent.
There you go. How much is it, Paul?
I don't know. It is probably some pounds.
Good. That's what we'd like to know.
Can we message you for a special discount?
Yeah. I'll sell you this one for 50 quid.
The last game I'm just going to mention quickly, because I'm still in a minute, is Transport Fever 2. And Transport Fever 2 is you become... and on the console version, it's got loads of DLC as well, so it's got everything it had from the PC version. Basically, it's a mixture of creating transport tracks, and those transport tracks could be railways, airplane, bus routes, the whole shebang, as well as building houses that all go along with the transport thing, making routes of your buses around things. So it's everything. And what they do is they have a campaign, which is a good way of doing it, that takes you through kind of decades. So the first level starts in sort of 1840s America. So you're going from horse and cart stuff with trains and steam trains, and then it takes you right through to modern age. So there's for transport fans and sim fans, there's a lot to love here. The problem I have very quickly is there is mouse and keyboard support on the Xbox version. I wish I had a mouse and keyboard for this. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare joining up the lines so they connect. It doesn't kind of work properly with your controller for me. So yeah, I would love to have that. I think if you've got a mouse and keyboard and you want to use it, this is the game for you to get excited. But for me, that's the thing that's driving me mad. But there's lots of content here. It's really good. It's really interesting for sim fans. I think they're going to get a lot of love. There's a very funny bit where the guy does a really good job. He's the sort of like voiceover for the campaigns, and he's Irish. He really nice Irish accent, really perfect. But then when he does the American stuff, he goes, "And here we are in the Wild West." Yeah, and it's like me doing that. It's very funny. Yeah. He's sort of talking in sort of cod Irish American accent. It's very funny. Good. Right. Let's do some. Let's go into some news, and we do a little quiz. There's not much news, but there's a couple of new releases just announced, which are quite interesting. We know this is coming, but the Ghostwire Tokyo is coming to Xbox, which was on the PlayStation last year, Bethesda's game. It's coming on April the 12th to Game Pass, so we all get to...
it is coming to Game Pass. That was going to be my question.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It is.
Look, I'm really looking forward to this.
I think I had fun because I played it on the PlayStation. I really enjoyed it. Got flagged off a bit, but I didn't deserve it. It's good fun. But it's also extra stuff for Xbox things. So there's a thing called the Spider Thread update, which adds a new game mode, which is almost, I can't work it out. It's like a sort of like 30 stages. I don't know what it is, but it's a big new game mode. Extended story cutscenes, new areas, everything like that. So if you have played the PlayStation, it might be worth going back and you enjoyed it. But that's good. April the 12th. So another Xbox Game Pass game. And then the other game I want to just talk about briefly, which I kind of forgot about and I'm really excited about, which is the Atlas Fallen game, which we all liked, didn't we, when it came out? But I forgot it was happening. Yeah. And there's a new gameplay trailer, and I think it looks great. What do you think from the gameplay on this desert world?
I think it looks really good. I'd forgotten that it was made by Deck 13, who did Lords of the Fallen and The Surge, I believe I'm correct in saying, both of which I really enjoyed. So looking at the gameplay on display here, I was thinking, this is going to be far too fast-paced for Gareth. I'd best do this.
You're not doing this. This is mine.
When this comes out on review,
you'll have it quickly. You'll have it before anyone else. He's kind of that. He's had too many big games. Maybe the 16th or 15th it's coming out. I can't remember.
16th.
Thank you very much. That's soon. It's not that far away. It's good. Busy May. So those two are kind of good. And now I'm going to just talk about one thing really quickly, which came out this week, which is the PS5 Pro rumours. And these rumours are looking pretty like real because everyone's reporting on it. I think it probably makes sense and those things. So there's a PS5 Pro. The rumor is still that it's going to come out next year, holiday 2024. And the thing is, did they say there might be a version of the PlayStation with a disc that I don't know what, a PS5 Slim or something before that? And then the other thing was possibly that the PlayStation 6 would be 2028. First of all, do you think the Xbox has probably got similar plans around the same time? Paul?
No.
No?
No, I don't believe so. There's no need. I don't see the need for a PS5 Pro. Are Sony admitting that they didn't make the console as good as they could have done? Because I think the Xbox, the Series X, certainly, they've pushed it as far as you can currently go with consoles, I believe. I don't think there's been that much of a technological advancement that you need a whole new console. Do you?
Yeah, but we say this every time. So we say that with, you say that with anything, you'll say, but they were still, it's not about them. It's like what did we have before? The Xbox One X. It was basically a smoother running machine, wasn't it? And you could have a certain graphical, I can't remember what it was. I think it was HDR, wasn't it, that you could run on that? So
you could have HDR, and it was but that wasn't like. I mean, how long's the PS5 been out now? It's not that long, is it? A couple of years.
But this is the big thing I was going to say. So because of we haven't really had this year is going to be maybe the PS5 and the Xbox Series X games that are going to come out that are truly of this generation, isn't it? Because of the pandemic, because of everything that's happened. So do you think you think, Paul, there won't be an Xbox Series X Plus, let's say, coming out in between the next Xbox? What about you, Darren? What do you think?
They must have thought about it, but I think they'll be quite happy to sit back and watch Sony show their hand, potentially. Because you're right, I think it was it the end of 2020? I feel like it was when Xbox Series X and PS5 came out, the back end of that year anyway. And I don't feel like this generation Xbox are in a particular rush to get new hardware out. Partly agree with Paul. I think they can always find justifications for new hardware, whether it's bigger hard drives, whether it's, ray tracing, whatever, Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision. Like there'll always be something, I feel, that they'll sell as the next big thing.
8K, 8K TVs.
That's true. I've seen those LG ones and stuff. But I do think the PS5 Slim, if they do one, is probably a good shout because the original PS5 is a bit of a chunky unit. Not in like a tidy box form like the Series X is, but it's just odd shape. And I think maybe there's an opportunity to kind of do a bit of a relaunch if people couldn't get hold of the original hardware at first because of all the chip shortages and things. So I don't think Xbox are going to show their hand soon, but I think they will have something planned for the next generation of consoles. But I'm interested to see if Sony have completely abandoned the handheld market as well, because obviously they have PSP and Vita, and Nintendo Switch kind of rose above the challenge being a hybrid console, hybrid and home. And I don't know if they've quietly just abandoned that market and they're going after the home market. In terms of PS5 Pro, my only concern is the price. If it does end up being more expensive than the PS5, I haven't really looked at how this PSVR 2 has performed, but I can't see now being the right time, or even the next year and a half being the right time to launch something that expensive.
Did you both get a Xbox One X?
Yes.
Do you think we needed an Xbox One X?
Oh no, sorry, no, I didn't. No, I didn't get one.
Oh no, I had a One X.
No, I didn't.
Yes, I did. Because the Xbox One was a great machine, but the One X the difference it made was not only the physical size of the thing, it was tiny in comparison, but it loaded and did things a lot faster. There was a big change in the way that the architecture was built, if you like. So, yeah, I must admit, as soon as the One X came out, I was down there at Game at midnight buying the thing.
So that's my argument. That would be their argument for the next one.
But I can't see that there's going to be that kind of night and day difference.
But there might be.
The Series X is still, it's a bloody good machine.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure the PS5 is a great machine as well. Yeah. I don't have one, but the Series X, I'm constantly surprised with how well it runs and how it's cut. It hasn't got rid of loading completely, but it's cut it down a lot. So, yeah, I mean, what else could you do?
Well, I thought generations will get longer with as the technology improves. So, Xbox has been pursuing cloud gaming, and there's some televisions now that have like the app, don't they? So you can cloud game for the television and things.
Yep.
And that's why I think that Xbox are just happy to see what Sony are thinking in terms of going first or revealing their hand first, because I don't see the need for new hardware anytime soon. I think there will be. I think technology will always move forward. But I don't like. What was it that Matrix demo we saw last year? That was like a bit of a visual experience. Like, if we get games to that end of the spectrum, that's pretty much like lifelike, almost like live action. So I do feel like it can be pushed further, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Sony may do it, but it may be for other reasons around trying to capture lost sales of PS5, etc.
Yeah. Good. Thank you, gentlemen. That was good. Right. We're going to do a quiz. We've got the time. We're going to do a quiz now. We're doing an old-fashioned quiz, which I haven't done for a while. We're going to do the what's it called? The Metacritic user scores quiz. Which we're going to go for. So basically how it works is I've got 5 games here, and I've gone on to Metacritic, and I've looked at the game, and I've looked at the user comments, which are a mixture of the mad and the beautiful. And I've got 5 clues to the game, and you've got to guess. So the first one obviously is harder. If you get it straight away, you get 5 points. If you get the second clue, 4 points, 3 points down. There's a bonus point. There's 2 bonus points this week. A bonus point for the user score, and also a bonus point for the actual score of Metacritic as well. So if you can get near that, so that's what we're going to do. I don't know why I've decided to do this, but we're going to do it.
I mean, why make it more complicated?
Yeah, exactly. I realised that myself. So are we all clear? Are we ready to go? We don't need to buzz in, do we? Because we do
it in turns, don't we?
In turns, that's right. I haven't done this for ages.
Oh, how gentlemanly.
Yeah. So who's going to go first? It's going to be Paul first.
I was going to say, would you like to go first, Darren? While we're all being nice and friendly. Thank you. Okay. I'll go first then, Gareth.
Okay, brilliant. So this is the first clue for the game. You get, do we say one guess each, isn't it? That's it.
Yes, that's it.
I quite nearly wrote down our little thing, what the game was there. That would have been good. So the first clue. One of the most unique games I've ever played. So thorough and deliberate and nuanced. Very big fan.
Well, that could be literally anything, couldn't it?
Yeah.
That's why it's worth a lot of points.
All right, smarty pants. Elden Ring.
No. Thank you, Paul. Darren, are you going to have a guess?
No Man's Sky.
No. Right, good. 4 points. Second clue. I was expecting to beat up some bad guys, and these lazy developers can't even do the bare minimum. This isn't even a game. It's a virtual book.
And I like how you gave that comment a voice, how you imagined it.
I know.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Have you thought about being an actor?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Darren, I think you're now, aren't you? That's how it works.
I have no idea. No idea at all. I can't even think of a game. My mind's gone blank. I just passed.
I think you might win this one, Paul.
Hopefully, if you can't think of any games.
Okay.
Let's try Yakuza 0.
Oh, no. Okay, for 3 points. The game does not fall into easy traps of criticising the church and its script. On the contrary, it shows deep knowledge in the matter, and it can teach a lot of real theology for those interested.
Is it Dante's Inferno?
No.
Oh,
Hello, that's good. I forgot about that.
that was a great game.
Yeah,
I really
forgot about
enjoyed that.
Oh, Darren, what do you think?
I've never played this game really. So is it called The Order 1886?
Oh, that was a good game as well. I enjoyed that. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good, for 2 points. This is not a game. It's an animated, illuminated manuscript akin to the transition scenes in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, I think I know it.
Go down, it's your go.
Is it me?
Oh,
Is it?
I think I know it.
Is it Pentiment?
It is Pentiment. Well done.
Well done,
The 2 points for Darren.
It turns out I didn't know it because I was going to say Inculinati or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah, that would
Doesn't
be
know what it is.
that's the one I did the preview for. I think I reviewed. The last clue was you navigate through a world in an illuminated manuscript from the 1500s. You are solving puzzles, interacting people through text-driven dialogue boxes. Okay, well, I don't think we're going to do this bonus other thing. Just do one bonus. So see if you can get the user score. And I think So Paul has a go. Paul, you go first.
I think this reviewed quite well, but I don't know how the users went for it. I'll say 7.9.
7.9 from Paul. Darren, what are you going to go for?
Yeah, I thought it did well, but some of those comments are quite scathing. So I'll go for an 8.2.
Paul's closest, 7.5 from the user.
Hurrah!
8.6.
Hooray!
8.6 from the critics, but 7.5. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Then.
Little bonus from Paul. Good. Right. Number 2. Okay, right. First clue. 5 points.
It's always good when the quizmaster laughs at his own clues.
Really amazing game with so many story outcome paths.
I think it's your turn to go first, isn't it, Darren?
Oh, is it? Okay. Is it Deus Ex Human Revolution?
No.
Could I have the clue again, please?
Really amazing game with so many story outcome paths.
Is it Mass Effect 2?
No. Second clue. Is this a PowerPoint game? This game is a monotonous, poor quality, another bit of Game Pass trash.
Are you sure it's not Mass Effect? Oh, blimey. Game Pass trash. Is it Vampire Survivors?
No, but yeah, I could say that, yeah.
PowerPoint presentation. People confuse me. I'll just say, I don't know, Knights and Bikes. I've no idea.
No, 3 points now. This game is a huge steaming pile of garbage. The greedy developers are charging $30 for a slideshow. There's literally no animations from the characters. Who's it now? I've forgotten.
Darren.
Is it? Oh God. Each clue makes it more difficult, which is not the way it should work, is it?
Have you got the paper upside down?
I'll go. What was it called? The Artful Escape.
No. Paul, you've got an idea?
I have an idea,
Go on.
but I can't remember what the game's called. My mind's gone blank. I can see it in my mind's eye. I remember playing through it and I liked it. Is it The Road to Cavalry?
No. Good.
Because that was exactly what they were just describing.
This was 2 points. A stop frame animated narrative yarn that fits in as snugly as a comfy pair of clogs. A stop frame animated narrative yarn that fits in as snugly as a comfy pair of clogs. Paul.
Is it Unravel?
No.
Oh, I was going to say that, and then I thought, oh, that's literally yarn.
I thought I was saying. I
Historical.
thought he was giving us a very clever clue there. Like
So did
yarn.
I. I'm glad you said it, so it eliminated it for me. But I still don't know what it is. Stop frame. I feel like we're going to kick ourselves when we find out what this is.
Mm.
You might not have played it.
Never know.
It might just be one from Gareth's back catalogue.
Oh, I don't know. So I'll pass.
Okay, for 1 point. I understand that after the motel event, the story slowed down a lot, but it has an awesome story that will catch it from start to end, even if the end isn't that fantastic. Who is it, Darren?
I think so.
Darren.
Was it motel event? Did you say?
Yeah. That's a big clue if you've played it.
I haven't played it, but I think I might have an inkling.
I'm going to have to rush you down.
No, no idea. Alan Wake, no idea.
Okay, good. No, it's not. Paul.
I'm not sure of the name, but
No.
is it Until Dawn or something like that?
No, but I know what you're going to say.
it?
Oh, I know what it is now.
Yeah.
Is it The Quarry?
No, it's As Dusk Falls.
That's it. I knew it was something dawn, dusk. It was that. It's that one that's like it just. There's no animation. It just flips between.
Yeah.
I knew it'd be one you'd
stop
play,
motion.
Gareth.
I know. There you go. Now let's do a score. So no points there, but we could get a bonus score. Who had a go last time? Was it?
I went first last time.
Darren, what do you think? What do you think the users are going this?
I'll go for around 8.
8. Paul, what do you think?
Oh, I think it was a lot worse than that. Listening to them comments, I'm going to go 7.
Oh, I don't know. Oh no, it's 7.7. So it's Darren. It's closer.
Darren.
And
snuck it.
Interesting enough, the critics one is 7.7 as well. So both.
That doesn't happen often, does it?
No. Okay, so Darren's got 3. Paul's got 1. Question game number 3.
I'm getting battered here.
First clue. Nice game, but extremely boring. We can save only the humour and the music. The rest is really mediocre and repetitive. For 5 points.
It's me to go first this time, isn't it? I'm going to stick with The Road to Cavalry and say that again.
Okay. No, but good. Darren.
For the record, I don't agree if this is right, but is it Psychonauts 2?
No. For 4 points. Literally the best game I've ever played. It's very gamey, doesn't take itself too serious, and it's quite funny.
Very gamey. That's what you want in a game, isn't it?
Darren.
Is it High on Life?
It is 4 points, Darren. Well done.
Darren.
Nice work.
Nearly forgot the name then.
Very good. The last 3 clues are: this game is absolutely freaking amazing and hilarious. I love all the uniqueness of the weapons and how beautiful the environments look. Number 4 was: I'm still laughing at every joke the guns tell. It's a different experience, totally recommended. And the last one is: you have no voice, yet the developer thought it was a good idea to let Morty scream in your ears for hours. Good, well done, Darren.
Yeah, well done, Darren.
Thank you. I'm gracious in my victory here.
Who's doing the score first?
Yet.
Who's doing the score?
Me.
Go on then. What
my go first.
So users.
I'm going to say 8.2.
8.2. What do you think, Darren?
I think it's a bit more. It splits opinion more. I'm going to go 7.
Paul's close to 7.9.
Ooh. Well
Um,
done.
but the critic score was 6.7.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay, good. Here we go. This was the game number 4. First clue. Excels at what it sets out to do. Crafted incredibly well. Handles great on controller.
I think it's your turn first, Darren.
That was it. Oh, is it Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition?
No. I wish.
Oh.
No.
I'm glad you said that because that was going to be my answer.
The controller, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Can I have the clue again, please, Garol?
Excels at what it sets out to do. Crafted incredibly well. Handles great on controller.
Is it Hi-Fi Rush?
No. For 4. Great form of storytelling and interesting twists, and the way they are unveiled and unnervingly weird in a good way.
Oh, God.
Great form of storytelling and interesting twists, and the way they are unveiled are unnervingly weird in a good way.
In a good way. I love that voice. Is it Crusader Kings 3?
No. Darren, what you got?
I'm confused by the controller comment, but I don't know. I'll just say Atomic Heart for now.
No. For 3 points of Paul, I think you need to get in here. Feels like you are behind the scenes of a real production. The quality is so high.
It's your go then, Darren.
Oh, what's it called?
Don't you go pulling out of thin air like you know.
Oh, I can picture it as well, and I can't remember what it's called.
I have to rush you down.
Oh, I don't know, and nothing you can say is going to make me get it, so I'll just pass.
Okay, Paul, what have you got? This is it, Paul.
I've literally got no Scooby what you're talking about. This is going to be another one of your games, isn't it? Is it Artful Escape?
No. Okay, for 2 points. The acting was mediocre at best. I really don't want to waste time poring over old, uninteresting fake film footage.
Yes, it is the game I'm thinking.
Paul, what is it?
I know the game now, but I can't think what it's called. Just because it's such a dull concept, it never appealed to me. God, you spoke about this as well, didn't you? Mm-hmm. What was it called?
People are shouting and screaming now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Is it Gears of War 3?
I thought you had a great way.
Darren, what have you got?
Oh, it's something like Annihilation or something, but I can't remember what it's called, so I'll just say that.
No. For 1 point, I don't think you're going to get it, because you don't get it there. You both know what it is. Unfortunately, it's not a game at all. In fact, an FMV game, which is basically watching a movie, and a really bad one at that.
Your go, Darren.
Oh, God.
Just keep talking while I Google it.
It's only 1 point now, so whoops. I don't know. I'm not going to get it. I'm going to kick myself when you tell me, Gareth.
Go on.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay. Paul, you got an idea?
I've got a word in my head, and I don't know where it's come from, but it was something like annihilation or something.
No, it's immortality.
Oh, that's it.
Of course it is, yeah.
So no points, but let's see if we can get the user
We should have
score.
had a warning that this is only games that Gareth played before we started.
These are all Game Pass games apart. Well, they all are. Good. Let's. What's your score?
It's your turn, I believe, Darren, to choose first.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'll go for 7 again.
7. Good. Paul?
Yeah.
I'll go for 7.1.
Paul's got it. 7.2. Oh. Paul's got 3. Darren's got 7. The The real score was 88, but the 7.2 from the users. Right, last game. Here we go. So, let's go. Question number 1. Amazing fun that will literally scare the shit right out of your pants. Sorry for the language, everyone, but it's the user people speaking.
Oh, wow. Yeah. We need to get you one of those bleeping machines, don't we? Is it Resident Evil Village?
No.
Is it the Callisto Protocol?
No. For 4 points. Unoriginal cash grab. We need new games, people. Come on, stop falling for this.
Dead Space?
It's Dead Space.
I knew as soon as I was sat there going, don't say it, Darren, don't say it, Darren.
My first answer was a toss-up between Dead Space and Callisto.
Yeah, it's quite an easy one, that one, actually, wasn't it? I'm going to read you the next one because it's hilarious and it's quite long. Woke garbage. Removed any kind of difficulty from the game, even on hard mode. They deviated from the original story too much. There was too much missing. It's like they listened to the useless game journalists that can't play games and watered down the game. It's not a remake, it's a bastardization.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, people not really sure what woke means, but chucking it in there.
Yeah, I didn't notice very much in that was woke, to be fair, stamping on necromorphs.
There was lots of woke comments in there. I think it was to do with the unisex toilets. I think that's all it was.
You are kidding me.
No, I think it is. Mad.
Grief.
The other 2 clues were fantastic. That's how you remaster games. I do hope they would do the next one. And the last one was a remake done right. Everything about this remake is so very well designed. Everything was crafted from the ground up. Good. Well done. So, do you want to have a guess the score for a bit of what's the score, Paul?
Well, I need to try and save a little bit of face, don't I?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 7.5.
7.5.
Knowing these people.
It's got to be higher. I'll go 8.
8.7. So Darren, you got a point there, and the critics are 89. Right. Well done, everyone. Good. Nice going back to that game for a little go every now and again. We have got coming up on the Xbox Hub site now. If you go there. 5 copies of Kung Fu Fury Street Rage Ultimate Edition on Xbox. So we've got 5 copies to give away. So just go to the Xbox Hub site, have a look. It would just tell you what you need to fill in and what you need to do. Very easy. But I don't know what the game is. I think it looks quite good, doesn't it? Little kind of, I don't know what it is. Do you two know what it is?
Not a Scooby. First I've heard of it.
I did have a look earlier. I've not looked at it in any great detail, but it looks a bit like Final Fight, so I'm guessing it's that type.
Okay, right, yeah. Good.
It's like Streets of Rage sort of thing.
Oh, good, yeah. There you go. 5 copies to get on there straight away, have a look. And what are we looking forward to next week? Paul, what are you looking forward to?
Well, next week, I have a birthday coming up, and it's quite a big one.
60th?
I'm going to be... How very rude. Listen here, sunshine. Don't make me start on that hairline. No. On Thursday next week, I will be 50 years old. So I'm not looking forward to it. I'm imagining that when I get up on Thursday morning, I'm just going to fall to pieces. So, yeah, I mean, what was it like when you got past 50, Gareth? Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah? It's really good. I don't mind it because you just think, that's it now. In a good way, you think, I can't change that much. It's great.
Yeah, don't need to worry. It's all downhill from here.
And now with the new budget released today, we talk about retraining. At 50, yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah, doing apprenticeships.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
that'll be fun. Yeah, brill.
Good. Well, have a lovely birthday, Paul. I'm going to speak to you next week. I'm sure we will. Darren, what about you? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, happy birthday, Paul. If you want to play any games or anything, then let us know, unless you're out painting the town red.
Listen, I don't paint the town beige these days. Never mind red.
Oh dear. I'm still thinking about that Wingman controller. I thought it meant something different. I haven't watched it yet. It's been out for a week or so. The Luther film on Netflix. I love the TV series, so I'm really looking forward to watching that because it's got Andy Serkis in it as well, which helps to see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And also the 4th John Wick is coming out this week, and it's had rave reviews, I think.
Yeah,
and
hasn't it?
I love the whole universe, so I can't wait. We're going to go and see that as well.
Great. I think I'm looking forward to maybe Ted Lasso. It's coming out today. So I might get back into that again, which would be good. But if we need to get hold of you and chat about anything, Paul, where do we get hold of you?
Well, to paraphrase Darren, if you want to grab my handle, it's on the Twitter at @XboxHub.
Darren, what about you?
I can't keep a straight face.
When we hit overtime, we'll just get it.
And what about you, Darren?
The aforementioned handle, mine is @27Darren.
Brilliant. You can find me at GB Brady on Twitter and Twitch. But for now, gentlemen, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of this show at www.thexboxhub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub, and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.